Well, welcome back to another opportunity to look up and redirect our attention to God and His Word. My name's Phil, and the last few times I've been with you, I've been pulling out little nuggets from the book of James. It's toward the end of your Bible, and if you want to grab it, you can grab it with me, but James chapter 2, there is this nugget that is just so beautiful, where he says these simple words. He says, mercy triumphs over judgment. Mercy triumphs over judgment. Now, I wonder, when was a time when you were tempted to judge others? Or maybe when you've been judged? When was a time where you were on the receiving end of desiring maybe some grace or mercy from somebody and you didn't receive it? See, the point here for James is that mercy triumphs over judgment, that God is all about mercy. Is God a God that judges? Is He a righteous and just judge? Yes, He is. He is. And at the end of the day, our God will look at our lives and He will judge accordingly, but ultimately mercy wins. I mean, say that out loud with me wherever you're at. Mercy wins. This is a beautiful truth of the character of God that He asks to then be exhibited in our lives. That mercy would win the day, would triumph over judgment, that in our day-to-day interactions with our spouse, with our kids, with our siblings, with our friends, with our boss or our coworkers, that mercy would triumph over judgment. How many times are you in an interaction with somebody and you're just tempted to jump to the wrong conclusion or to feel like they're being critical or maybe you're being critical? And what if you were to flip the script and to be merciful instead? Mercy is this concept that we talk a lot about in the church sometimes, but maybe we don't fully get. I mean, we think we do, but do we really? Mercy simply means not getting what we deserve. Not getting what we deserve. You know, when we come home from school with an F grade, or when we fail on a project and we expect our boss to come down on us or our parents to come down on us or whatever it is, mercy would say, you deserve this punishment, this, kind of discipline, but I instead am going to show you mercy. Instead, I'm going to wrap you in my arms, child, and say, I love you. Let's not have that grade again, but I love you and nothing will ever change that. Mercy goes to that coworker or that person that you love and care for that has failed and says, you know what? I forgive you, and we're going to move on past this. It reminds me one time of Jesus, James's older brother. Jesus, he would say in Matthew chapter 9, verse 10, one time he's kind of questioned as to why he's hanging out with the riffraff of society, the sinners, and he says this, it's not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. Not the healthy, but the sick. And I've not come to call the righteous, but the sinners. And he says, you need to understand, you need to remember what it means that I desire mercy more than sacrifice. And Jesus quotes the Old Testament, where Hosea the prophet says that I desire mercy, not sacrifice. We're so in the habit of doing all the right things, or making sure that we measure up for God or that others measure up for us. But in the long run, God just desires mercy. He wants to exhibit mercy for us, and then He asks us to be merciful to others. Jesus here, James here, they say, listen, live lives of mercy. Why? Because God is merciful, and at the end of the day, mercy wins out. And so here's my question for you today. What would it look like for you to extend mercy to somebody that doesn't deserve it? Maybe it's your spouse. Maybe it's a child who's been totally acting out, or a sibling who's been bullying you, or a friend who's treated you wrong, or a boss who's oppressing you, or a coworker who's calling you out. I mean, what would it look like for you to be merciful to them? Because as you show mercy to them, you're showing them Jesus. You're showing them the very character of God. So may mercy win for you today. May you live out the character of God and His mercy in all you do. Have a great week.